Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new edition of our online update interview series. And we want to talk today not to Vizsla Resources, now to Vizsla Silver, because they had a name change. And Michael Konnert, the CEO, is here on the screen. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Jochen. I'm doing very well. I'm very happy to be here.
Super, great to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. I know it's early in your morning. You changed your name. How did that come? You want to focus more on the silver?
Yeah, I mean we're drilling a fantastic silver gold district in Mexico, and it's primarily silver that we're discovering and exploring for. So we wanted to show that we're serious about the Panuco district that we're working on. But the other reason that we changed our name is that we're actually spinning out copper shares to our shareholders, and so we're going to have Vizsla Copper and Vizsla Silver. So in order to make sure there wasn't any confusion around the companies, we changed the name to Vizsla Silver.
Fantastic. As you named it already, because it was also a question which came up for me here, Vizsla Copper, Vizsla Silver. So how would that work with Vizsla Copper? Because we have a lot of shareholders viewing us here. They just get copper shares for free, right?
That's right. As a shareholder of Vizsla Silver, you would receive basically a share dividend. A ratio wouldn't be a whole share, but it would be a fractional share for every share that you hold. And then that company will subsequently be listed and become a publicly traded company. So with its own management team, with its own direction, but we hold a copper project from earlier on in Vizsla's history in the company. And the idea was to create some value around that and give that value to our shareholders.
Fantastic, great. Creating value, this is one of the big things you are there for, of course, and I know you have also heavily invested inside or into the company you are running. And I saw in your latest news release a lot of good news, of course, but 7 drill rigs now in operation. Man, that's a lot.
Yeah. This project is really just grown and ramped up so quickly over the last 8 months or so that basically we only made our first discovery at Napoleon in June and July of last year. We've really ramped up, and the team on the ground, the technical team of Vizsla Silver, are the ones that deserve the credit for that, because they've done such a remarkable job. But the project definitely deserves to be drilled like this.
Okay, super. So 40,000 meters in the first half.
40,000 meters, yep, in the first half of the year. That'll make us one of, if not Mexico's most aggressive explorer.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is crazy. To what depths you are going down?
Well, we've actually doubled the depth extent of Napoleon in some of our deeper drilling. So that's about 300 meters below surface, or below the top of the mineralization, which is at surface.
So that would mean that you can easily drill like 100+ holes, right?
It'll be a lot of holes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so hopefully a lot of good news releases then.
Well, I will say this, to that point, our strike rate, our success rate per hole has been excellent, with our discoveries at Napoleon, at TAJITOS, at Cordon. So I'm expecting that these will be, high value holes that will create a lot of, mineralization out of these drill holes.
Yeah, super. So where do you see the focus for those drills? Do you have certain regions, certain targets where you think, that makes probably more sense to go there? Are you doing also maybe some infill drilling already? Because regarding for resource estimate, I think this is something what is missing. I mean, we saw over the last 12 months, fantastic values. You always brought out like 500 grams, 1,000, 2,000 grams, even 10,000 grams we saw silver equivalent, which was really crazy. It's quite seldom that you see something like this. Of course, that's not the average, that's also for sure. But if we take it in an average, I would call it like easily 700, 800, 900 grams silver equivalent on all your drillings, I would say. And where do you see, let's say, the focus, and when do we see a resource estimate?
Yeah, so our focus is certainly the Napoleon vein corridor. Actually, we just got back from the project, and one of the comments that we got about, or that we kind of came, that we thought about Napoleon, is it's almost like Mexico's Hemlo. Our discovery is about 40 meters off of the main highway there that runs through the property. Another thing is that the project has excellent infrastructure, but how many geologists drove between Mazatlan and Durango on that highway? Hundreds of thousands probably over the history of the project. And we made that discovery right off the side of the road. So from that road, we're actually stepping out to the north and to the south. So the road runs east-west. And so we're grid drilling to the north and to the south of the road with 4 drill rigs on Napoleon. So that is certainly the focus of our drilling. That's the resource drilling. It's possible that at the end of the year we could have a resource out on Napoleon. We're not saying that for certain because we may want to continue to keep drilling and build a bigger and bigger resource there. But we are doing resource drilling at Napoleon, and it's responding very well to that. Now, we also have a rig at TAJITOS, which is just about 500 meters to the east of Napoleon. And that's actually turning into something that's quite interesting. Napoleon's about 2.5, 3 kilometers long. We're grid drilling along that. The Cinco Señores vein, which hosts TAJITOS, is a little bit smaller. It's half a kilometer to a kilometer. We're still working that out, but we're drilling that. We're having success with drilling there. And then we also have a very large structure that's, it's quite a significant vein trend that runs north-south. Further to the east, that's called Cordon del Oro. And Cordon del Oro has two drill rigs on that. So 4 on Napoleon, 1 on TAJITOS, and 2 at Cordon del Oro.
Super. So that looks to me like that Napoleon would be like the first, how can I say that, maybe project or area which will be suitable then for a future production, because as I understand, you guys would love to be like within the next 18, 24 months is in production, right?
Yeah, that's the benefit of the deal on the project that we have. So of course, for someone who's maybe just joining us recently here, we have, high grades, very high grades, some of Mexico's best drill holes in many years for silver and gold. But in addition to that, we have excellent infrastructure, and that infrastructure is not limited to highways and power, which we have. It includes the mill that we have, which is permitted and operational. It includes the tailings facility, basically everything that we would need to rapidly jump into production as a company, we have on site, and it's under option to us. So the next step, of course, is just to exercise those options and move into production. So Napoleon certainly is the most advanced area of the district, and certainly that would I think if we were to move into production rapidly, that would be the place to start.
How would let's say ramp up production look like? I mean, you cannot start from scratch like with 10 million ounces plus per year. That's also for sure. But let's say if you say, okay, with the mill facility you have, I think it's 500 tons per day. What would that mean? Could we say that probably a production which would be possible is like 2-3 million ounces for a start per year?
Could be somewhere around that to start. Of course, these are forward-looking statements. And
absolutely, yeah.
It's important to make commentary towards forward-looking statements, but that's right. It'd probably start somewhere in that realm of 2 to 4, let's say, and then grow very rapidly from there. Of course, we could also just take the time ahead of production and increase the capacity there. We could also look to install other mills in the area while we're working on that existing mill. So it really just gives us an idea. It gives us the ability to take cash flow to start. If you look at some of the holes that we drilled at Napoleon, you can see it's exceptionally high grade. I mean, our discovery hole was 6 meters. Now it's true width is just over 3 meters of 8 kilograms of silver. So it includes almost 200 grams of gold at the highest grade sub-interval. So it's remarkably high grade. And so you don't need a huge amount of tons at grades like that to be really profitable. So, that would be a start for us. And of course, maybe I hope you don't mind, but I'll let you know, I spent the weekend, kind of going over some of the old historic information on Wheaton River, of course, and San Dimas. And San Dimas is a very comparable asset to ours, 80 kilometers to the north. It's exactly the same type of rock setting, same type of mineralization. These are the type of assets that can build these very large companies and underpin a huge amount of value. So, we're fixated on building resources and then moving into production. And I think what you said there about starting relatively small, growing rapidly to a significant producer of silver and gold in Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. Because I could imagine that you say, okay, we start with this, then we have the cash flow that's put in stage 2, then stage 3, and all of a sudden you have a whatever 1,500, 2,000 ton per day operation, and we all have a lot of fun.
I agree with the fun. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Great. The expansion on the PAPAYO prospect to the south, how important is this, and also maybe for future production?
Yeah, so actually PAPAYO is a part of the Napoleon corridor. So that's actually an area that we're drilling towards as we continue the step outs from the original discovery. So it's important. It's part of the overall trend, and we're starting to get a little bit more understanding around it, and I think it's going to grow into a nice ore shoot.
Okay, super. Of course, we have now spoken about 40,000 meters of drilling, lots of work which is in front of us. How much money do you still have in the bank? Are you financed for this year? And how would it look like if you would say, okay, let's start with that small production. We are exercising the option on the mill and everything. How would that work?
So we have about $24 million in the bank right now. So still very well funded for our work. If we were to move into the exercise option and enter into production, there's a couple of ways we could do that. But primarily when we did a financing in summer that included some warrants to Eric Sprott and a couple of other very high caliber investment funds. And the idea there is that we could utilize those warrants to help with some of the capex, like option cost and costs around production. So we're in an excellent position for that. We're also a liquid company as well, and I think our options here to finance that and to do that, I think are quite good.
Fantastic, super. Yeah, then I must say nothing more on my list. Thank you very much, Michael. That was a great update, and it looks like that we have a big year in front of us with Vizsla Silver.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, and enjoy being on your show.
Super. Thank you very much, Michael. All the best. Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Michael Konnert, the CEO of Vizsla Silver, formerly Vizsla Resources. You saw the name change this week, and I think the company is doing extremely great. The drill results are outstanding from the last 9 to 12 months. Is really fantastic. But also the company has the cash with $24 million to really go full throttle. You heard it, 7 drill rigs are turning. 40,000 meters will be drilled in the first half. So I expect a lot of news flow, and I'm pretty sure it will be again very good, because geology has a tendency not to stop after on a boundary or on a how can I say that, on a hole after hole. For sure, it looks really fantastic here, and so I would suggest you really check out the company, because it is approximately 40% below the high of below the 12 months high, and so it makes really sense to watch this company. Thank you very much for watching us. All the best, stay healthy, and bye-bye from Switzerland.